Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Mezco ThunderCats Mega Scale Mumm-Ra, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. So I've been checking out these Mega Scale ThunderCats for some time now, and I've been debating on picking them up because they look so great. And when I saw the San Diego Comic-Con version of Mumm-Ra, I knew it was finally time to dive into this line. So let's check this bad boy out and see if he's worth picking up. Now, first things first, Mumm-Ra comes in this special box for San Diego Comic-Con. It's because this is a multi-pack. Now, the single-release version of Mumm-Ra was just Mumm-Ra the Ever-Living by himself. This new 2-pack comes with that figure plus an exclusive mummy version of Mumm-Ra. So they're both housed inside of this black box that's got some fantastic artwork on it depicting both Mummy Mumm-Ra and Mumm-Ra the Ever-Living, and then the big ThunderCats logo. It's all done in a black and white color scheme, so it's very cool looking. And then we've got the shiny blue Mezco exclusive sticker on the front, so you know that this was a Comic-Con exclusive. Now, the back of that box just gives us some more black and white images, but this time of the figures themselves, and lets you know exactly what's inside, and tells us it's glow-in-the-dark. Yeah, this has got a glow-in-the-dark paint feature, which we're going to take a look at in just a bit. Now, when you pull these guys out of the box, you can see that there is some assembly required for Mumm-Ra the Ever-Living. Basically, to get him fit inside there, they had to take off his legs at the knees. So you just pop that back on, just has a peg that pops into place, and then we're all ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Mumm-Ra the Ever-Living himself. Now, the cool thing about these guys is their immense size. These guys are massive, and they're called Mega Scale for a reason. Mumm-Ra here stands at 15 inches tall, so he's huge. Now, like I said earlier, this is a version that we can already get in the stores for the most part. The only difference here is that this one has a cool glow-in-the-dark paint job. But otherwise, the figure is exactly the same as the one you find in Toys R Us or Mezco's website, anywhere like that. He is still a very, very nice looking figure, so if you've not picked this guy up before, let's go ahead and take a look at him real quick. He's got a fantastic paint job. The colors on him are very nicely done. You can see there's some great shading going on in the blues of his skin, so it really brings out all of the muscle tone and the definition and everything like that. He's got his Mumm-Ra logo painted right there on his chest. It's nice and crisp and clean looking. One thing that I really love is the face sculpt on this, because he's so evil looking. It's great. He's got that big evil smile, those deep red eyes. It's very, very cartoon accurate. It looks like it came right out of that classic animated series. So a lot of great paint job going on here, a lot of great sculpting. He's probably the best looking Mumm-Ra in action figure form so far. He's massive, he's huge, he's completely out of scale with everything else we've seen, but hands down, that's the best looking Mumm-Ra I've seen in action figure form. So he is an action figure, meaning you can pose this guy around. He's not super posable by any means, but you can see that he does have ball-like joints at the shoulders, so you can move him forward, backwards, up and down slightly. The wrists are able to twist. The head is able to turn left and right and move slightly up and down. He does have a waist swivel. His legs are stiff pretty much because of the sculpted skirt piece, but you can swivel the shins right there to position the feet. So he's not ultra posable by any means. He's more meant to just stand on your shelf for display, but you can still pose his arms around and get some pretty cool stances out of him. Now, you'll notice I'm sitting here and playing with these bandages. That's because it's all cloth, which is really cool. The headdress piece on the back is made of cloth that hangs down over his neck. Then on top of that, all of the tassels are cloth, and they've got this really cool frayed look to them, so they're really stringy and frayed out and worn. Then we've got the bandages, the mummy bandages. Now these actually come in a little baggie inside the box because you get to put these on Mumm-Ra yourself. So I just got them wrapped loosely around them there, so it looks like the bandages are nice and loose the way they looked in the cartoon series, but you can kind of play with that and position them however you want to on there. Now Mumm-Ra does include a cape as well. It's a big cloth cape. It's red on the inside, dark blue on the outside, so it matches his headdress great. It's got that same frayed look going on the outside, so it's got all that string on there. To put this on him, you've got this little knob on his back and a little hole in the cape in the middle there, so we can pop that on. It is a little hard to get that one on. There we go. It's attached. Now he's got these two little holes on either end. These just kind of sit on the little hooks that are on his wrists. So it's not a very tight fit when it comes to that part. They just kind of lay there on the little hooks that are on his wrists. But when you get it on, he is really, really cool looking. It really helps to complete the look. But you can see when you move him around, it does kind of fall off the spikes on his wrists. But it's nice because it's got enough room with it, so it's not too tight or anything. That way, if you want to pose his arms outwards, the cape comes up with his arms, and it kind of drapes out underneath them and gives you some really, really awesome poses. Now, added bonus with this guy, as I talked about before, the thing that really differentiates this version from the retail version is that he glows in the dark. Now, it's cool because he doesn't really look like glow-in-the-dark plastic. He's not that green, almost white, off-white, glow-in-the-dark plastic that most glow-in-the-dark things are. He's still the same color Mumm-Ra. He's that blue color, but he's got this really cool, it's hard to tell if it's like a glow-in-the-dark plastic that's painted or if there's like a glow paint over it. But when you get him in the dark, all the blue areas of him, all the skin glows nice and bright. Now, one thing that's really interesting, he's not blacklight responsive. So the black light doesn't make him glow, but when you turn the black light off when he's in pitch black, he glows very brightly. Not the easiest thing to capture with my camera, but you get this guy in a dark room, I promise he looks awesome. It's a very, very cool added feature. And it doesn't take away from the overall paint job, which is great. So, as an added bonus, the other thing that we got exclusively with the San Diego Comic-Con version was this Mummy Mumm-Ra. Now, this is a little shorter than the Mumm-Ra the Ever Living. He's only about 10-11 inches tall. And you can see that he's just solid plastic. There's no articulation going on with this guy at all. In fact, he's hollow. You can see he's got the little hole in the bottom. He's hollow plastic, but he's sculpted very, very nicely. He's got his robe closed up over him. He's got that same very evil-looking face going on with a terrific paint job. Lots of shading there to make him look nice and demonic and evil. Those glowing red eyes. And he really just makes a fantastic display piece to go alongside your Mumm-Ra the Ever Living. Get some cool poses of him in front of Mumm-Ra the Ever Living as if he's transforming. He looks really great on your shelf. So the companion piece, more of a statue than a figure, but still it's really, really beautifully done. So very, very cool little additional accessory if you were able to get this one from San Diego Comic-Con. So there you go, guys. There's a look at Mezco's Mega Scale Mumm-Ra from San Diego Comic-Con. It's a fantastic set, and like I said, this is a line that I've been looking at getting into for some time now. I don't normally collect large-scale figures like this, but the sculpts and the paint jobs on these are too great looking to pass up. If you're looking for some really nicely detailed ThunderCats figures, you're a big fan of ThunderCats, I would really look no further than Mezco's Mega Scale line. Until next time,